Now, gentle viewers, just for your own amusement and, well, mostly for mine, I have angled this in such a way that it looks like I am weighing down the shot.
It just looks unprofessional.
Yeah, but I'm heavy and I'm like, oh, I should take this. Anyway, thanks to a wonderful patron called Misty, I had an excuse to show my beloved wife Ginger fucking Snaps.
It was not about cookies. I feel betrayed.
One of the 5 best werewolf movies ever fucking made.
No, it wasn't. Stop licking it. You don't know where it's been.
It's in my DVD collection.
Exactly.
Ginger Snaps.
God only knows when it's touched there.
You want to know what the other 4 best werewolf movies ever made are? Ginger Snaps Back. Not this. This is shit. The Wolfman, American Werewolf in London, and Wolf Girl, starring Tim Curry, Iceman from X-Men, and Grace Jones. Ironically, not ironically, I believe 3 of those are Canadian.
Just goes to show.
But, okay. We all know, okay, now, I fucking love Ginger Snaps.
Spoiler.
You had never seen it.
I'd never know. Trigger warning, spoiler alert.
Be louder.
I am being louder. Spoilers. People die. Just everybody. Just all the time. Just death.
Werewolves raw.
It's like the craft for werewolves.
Yeah, it is a bit crafty. You also compared it to Carrie while we were watching it.
Yeah.
Now, Carrie, was that Carrie Elways or Carrie Ann Moss?
I mean, like the Stephen King one.
I mean, the remake?
No. Like the book.
Oh, Carrie 2, The Rage.
But yeah, so it was about these sisters, and they are goth, kind of, and...
2 Wednesday Addamses.
Pretty much. And there's a beast going around killing dogs, and nobody likes them, and they make fun of them in school.
And their mum is wandered out of a cult.
Gosh. She's like a parody of a Stepford wife, but played straight. And the father has like 3 lines. He's like, whoa.
He's like, I'm here. I'm still here. I think I might be here for a little while longer. And that's his whole lines.
I donated sperm at some point in time. But yeah, so people make fun of them in school, and then one gets bit by a werewolf.
Werewolf, which looks more like a drowned giant animatronic rat.
It does.
The weakest part of the film is the fucking werewolf. But it was a very low budget film. Forgive it. At the time, it just looked crap. Now, because of all the plethora of CGI right now, it's like charmingly practical effects.
I would have felt charmed. And nobody had smartphones. Look, there's a little thing that came up to let you know that it's tilted.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, that happened, and so then there's werewolves, and then she gets a period, and then there's lots more werewolves.
Symbolism.
There's smoking weed, and then there's a guy, and it's just.
I've seen a lot of films that
do.
It's
like Facebook the movie.
I've seen a lot of films that do vampires as symbolism for sexuality and puberty and stuff like that. Werewolves, never seen that before. So it's a nice change. And everyone is so good in this. Like, the writing, directing, everything is really phenomenal. And it's really sad. I can't think of much that the cast has actually done. Cast or crew have actually done. It was directed by a guy, I think his name was John Fawcett. I can't think of anything else he did. I'm pretty sure he did Ginger Snaps Back, but I can't think of anything else he did.
There wasn't enough righteous werewolf justice in this for me, just saying.
He wanted to kill the worm.
Yes. I come from a mythology where werewolves are the secret good guys.
And don't look like rats.
No, they look like actual awesome wolves. And they kick ass for justice and Gaia.
Well, I can talk about Ginger Snaps for ages because it's fucking awesome. But you have complaints.
I don't like the ending. What are you about?
Oh, the ending's fucking
No, I don't like the ending. It didn't end how I wanted it to, and so I didn't like it. Suck on that, the internet.
Yeah, the end.
I didn't like it. Okay. I wanted it done differently.
Most of the film is Ginger, who at one point does snap, that she's slowly turning into a werewolf. And unlike most werewolf films, it's not a case of, I'm a regular human being. Oh no, full moon, blarg. Or, I'm a regular human being, but I have a secret life where I battle the worm in Krynos form. Blarg.
Spend a rage, transform instantly, you don't even have to roll for it.
In this one, it's more of a, I'm a human being. Oh no, I'm slowly turning into a monster that says blarg. Blarg.
I have a tail.
So,
and huge teeth that nobody notices.
No one ever notices. It's wonderful. But through the whole film, Ginger is slowly turning into a werewolf, and then at the end she's always like, "I'm a werewolf, rawr!" And the end, it does not have a happy ending, which is fucking great.
Oh, I don't like that. I wanted a happy ending.
The film's incredibly fatalistic.
I don't care.
There isn't.
You're fatalistic.
Yes, I am. There's no happiness in this film.
There's always happiness from werewolves.
The film's very unhappy.
It is.
Deliberately.
I feel tired now. We're gonna watch some Mystery Science Theater just to make up for it.
I don't like Mystery Science
Too bad.
Theater.
You'll like this one. We're gonna watch the Hamlet episode.
Will I like it? Will I?
There's alcohol in the corner. You'll like it.
Will I like it?
Yes, you will.
I'd rather watch Ginger Snaps again.
No, we're not gonna watch it. But anyway. I feel bad because your patron is like, I want to know what you thought, and I'm like, meh.
It's like,
meh.
the room is hot, I am tired, and I didn't like the ending.
It's not-
The
not-
end.
it's not hot.
That's what Omega says.
The room is not hot. The heater's not even on.
But Misty, remember, no matter how much Omega's like, meh, I'm like, it's fucking awesome, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to watch it again.
Some parts were funny. I wanted the mom to be torn asunder, but that didn't happen.
I sort of loped madly between thinking she was terrible and should die, and she was charming and amusing.
The actress used to be a Scientologist, and she used to be married to Tom Cruise. Go figure that one out.
She was Mimi Rogers. She was the star of the best Rapture movie ever made, The Rapture. Possibly the best because it was made by guys who had no idea what the Rapture actually was, and so it made no sense in connection with the actual beliefs, but it was still awesome. It's very mesotheistic. What's mesotheism?
I have no fucking idea.
Mesotheism is the belief in God, but
And
the belief
miso soup.
it's the belief in.
Miso soup.
It's also known as maltheism. It is the belief in God, but also the belief that he's a cunt.
You know, the Malfians are the high-level spirits that are in charge of one of the Worm's realms.
Well, maybe they like The Rapture, but it's a really good film. And she was also the mother in the Lost in Space movie.
Well, damn.
And okay, the Ginger Snaps movie is for you guys who haven't seen it. Watch at least the first two. They are
It takes
really
place in Canada, eh?
really fucking good. The third one it's like Highlander: The Quickening, in that it's crap, but it's also it's a mystery as why it's there, why it exists at all, because it's basically a remake of the first film, but set in the 1850s with the same actors playing the same parts and the same story. So it's prequel / sequel / remake. You know, before that was a thing.
Basically,
with
they
Days of Future
need to
Past.
fill out the box set is what needed to happen there.
Yeah, but they made the film before the box set. That was like, there's so many stories they could have used for that, because you know, if you know the story of the second one, which is even darker and more fatalistic than the first one, they could have had like the adventures of Ghost, Little Girl, and her pet werewolf. But no, they were like, nah, we're gonna do like a cowboy thing. We're gonna cross Ravenous, a much fucking great film, with Ginger Snaps, and having Ravenous and Ginger Snaps together, that's gonna be fucking amazing. It's like, no, that's like putting two awesome things that shouldn't be mixed together. It's not good.
Oh, a popular girl died, so there was always that. She slipped in her own puke and then she cracked her head open.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Yeah, that was fulfilling for me. But
yeah, so sometimes when you mix.
Although there's a part where they're talking about stealing her dog, and making it seem like their dog was killed by the beast. I could not help but think of that song from YouTube by What's Her Face, the I Steal Pets from Popular People and then dress them up like the popular people. That song, Nash plays it all the time.
Okay.
It's the same girl that did the Fuck Me Ray Bradbury song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, her.
She was funny.
Yeah.
Well, we watched.
She still is.
Well, at the very start of this, during the opening credits, is them, the two girls taking photos of themselves pretending to be dead. And Omega was like, "This reminds me of the past." And so we toddled over there.
I have my computer over
And
there.
she was like, "Look at this! I helped make this thing." And it's a bunch of photos of people who I don't know, who I'm guessing Omega knows, who are all being like, "Oh look, I'm Gothy Undead in 2002. So this came out 2 years after Good Ginger Snaps, and we accidentally ripped off this film." But
Big surprise.
None of them turned into werewolves.
No, one's a lawyer now though.
Nearly as bad.
He's a nice guy. He just got married like last year.
Lawyer.
No, he was awesome. No, I had this friend who was like super artsy, like the kind of person who like probably couldn't walk down the street without telling you. Like you know that joke, how can you tell the vegan at the party, don't worry, they'll tell you, which has never come up for me. But like, how can you tell the artist at the party, oh don't worry, she'll tell you. She's like, I'm an artist and everything is like so fucking creative. Like she's actually annoyed and tries to hide the fact that she grew up middle class in a white suburb, and she got really into photography and for a while, and so she did a whole series of pictures where like people are dead and having been murdered in various ways. And I was just playing around with Windows Movie Maker way back in the day. This is like, again, over 10 years ago. So I used the old-timey filter, and I washed out the color, so it was like some kind of like 1910, like, you know, Nickelodeon kind of like crank movie. And I thought that was cool.
The
She just took a picture of me in full makeup, wearing a red velvet corset with a blonde wig on. I don't know why this happened. We went over to play D&D, and I ended up in a goddamn corset. I don't even know how this happened. I was a lot thinner then, though. By the way.
This photo was sent to me before we met, and I was like,
yeah, well, because it was deceptively hot, though. It was like, I had full makeup on. I was wearing. She gave me a blonde wig to wear because my hair was red and spiky back then. And
that's hot too.
Actually, I did look pretty good with red spike hair. Maybe someday when I lose, more weight in my face. But, like, yeah, so she just liked to do these just photo sets, and I haven't talked to her in years, though. She kind of went off the deep end of crazy, but you know what I mean.
But, okay, usually, even for the movies that are, I know that...
That was quite an aside.
I know that the vlogs for movies that are good tend to be shorter because, you know, most of the time we're bitching about stuff. And, you know... I'm quite good at coming up with stuff to bitch about, and I'm not coming up with it for Ginger Snaps because it's too fucking good.
Also, the fact they have 15 minutes left on the battery.
But this is gonna be even shorter than usual because usually there's like boring, 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 awesome bit, boring, boring, awesome bit, awesome bit, awesome bit, boring bit. With Ginger Snaps, it's just like constantly good.
The problem was though there was quite a bit of drinking and smoking, and then I was like, Like the scene where she's like, wham, and like walks into the party all like sexified it up, and the guy just like hands her beer. She's like, and I was like, oh, I wish I had a beer. I mean, I have alcohol, but it's just wine.
There's so much like cigarettes and stuff in school and things. It's like I guess they're
just like standing there like on like playing field hockey, smoking cigarettes. Like, how is this happening?
And one of the people who's hanging around and being a bitch is actually a teacher.
Yeah.
There's little logical problems like that.
Yeah.
But.
And there's a guy that just works for the county, and he sells drugs out of the county van, and he lives in the county greenhouse where he grows pot.
The greenhouse, which looks like the place, if you ever play Left 4 Dead 1, Dead Air, at the very start of it, before you go to the airport in Philly, you start off at a greenhouse, it looks just like that. There's a bunch of zombies down there, you gotta use your pipe bombs and your fire things to get rid of them.
They're not zombies, they're just...
Because there's like 50 of them.
They're not zombies, they're just out of 10. And if you get that reference... Awesome.
Might be teenagers.
Awesome. Teenage zombies?
Yeah.
Hey, that'll be the next thing. I was a teenage zombie.
Actually, that's a real movie. That exists.
Oh, fuck
That was made in the 50s.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
And there's also a movie, an Irish zombie movie about a girl who... it's like Irish romantic comedy about zombies.
My boyfriend's a zombie.
It's called Boy Eats Girl.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Your boyfriend's a zombie. Just true, but sure, it'll be grand.
But, with Ginger Snaps, it's not a case of, like, you know, peaks and troughs. This one's just constantly really fucking good. You know, fatalistic, dark.
If you didn't have a good time in high school, part of this movie will upset you.
I didn't have a good time.
You didn't go to... Okay, I'm not saying that Canadian culture doesn't exist, but...
But she's just saying Canadian culture doesn't exist.
Canadian culture and American culture are close. They are similar.
It doesn't exist.
Would you stop that? No, it does. Canada has like a lot of culture that I frankly don't understand. But
Canadians, if you're angry, send emails to the Omega Geek.
Right, the show. You're angry at the show. No, but what I'm saying is that the cultures are similar enough that while we knew it was filmed in Canada, we weren't sure if it was supposed to be set in Canada until the point where someone's posting up a missing poster and it's in French and English. We're like, oh, okay, that is meant to be in Canada. That's what I mean. But like your school experience was all sorts of different. They had houses.
We had no
houses
werewolves.
like Harry Potter.
Yeah, we did.
You went to school in an abandoned mental institution.
No, my secondary school.
Yeah.
It wasn't an abandoned mental institution.
That sounds
It was
better.
the school bought the building to use for until it built a purpose-built thing. But it is still in the grounds of a working mental hospital.
10
yes.
points for Gryffindor.
But the houses were only in my primary school, not my secondary school. My primary school, which is the equivalent of elementary, it did have houses.
What house were you in?
I was in Harlech.
What's your patronus?
Patronus. Our color was red. You see, in the school I went to, the houses, they had 4 houses, and they were all named after castles in one country from the British Isles. So Harlech was in Wales. Harlech Castle was in Wales.
You're a wizard, Hagen.
Stirling Castle in Scotland, Dunluce Castle in Northern Ireland, and Windsor Castle in England.
I'm not Gungiven Castle.
No. And I was in Harlech. Now,
I'm going to start a Facebook page, The Friends of Dungiven Castle.
Probably is one.
There probably is.
It's not a castle.
But yeah, so like you guys like wore uniforms.
That's true.
Didn't. Like
we didn't have to deal with werewolves.
Yeah,
I've seen movies.
You had to deal with sectarianism.
Well, not in the primary school so much because it was a non-integrated one, so they were just like the other people aren't allowed here. The secondary school I went to was the first integrated secondary school in Derry, which meant that it was both, and so there was tensions and there was like drums.
Was there like there was only like the restroom on the first floor is for Catholics, the restrooms on the second floor is for Protestants?
No, it was just...
And the one Jew has to go use the restroom in the nurse's office. I'm the only Jew. Boo.
Well, there were like... at school, there was... at one point, there was at least 4 non-Christians.
There were 4 non-Christians in, like, my science class alone. I mean...
Well, and 3 of them were me and my 2 siblings.
Oh. That's a good point.
Because my eldest sibling did not go to that secondary school.
Oh. So then there was the one Jew.
I don't think we had any Jews. Not that I knew of.
There are Jews in Belfast.
But yeah, there's Jews around. I don't think there was any in our school. There was 3 Baha'is and a Jehovah's Witness. No. But back to Ginger Snaps.
10 points for Mossad.
Is this not the greatest werewolf movie based with the title of a biscuit?
I don't know. I've not seen many movies with a title based on a biscuit.
Is it not the best you've seen?
Digestive Biscuits, the sequel.
Is it not the best you've seen?
This time it's full of fiber.
Is it not the best you've seen?
I didn't like the ending.
There we go.
Stop.
Omega thinks it's awesome.
I didn't say that.
She did.
I told...
She was totally enjoying it until it had a sad ending.
There's got to be other movies based off of biscuit names. Like... Nutter Butter. Although that's probably a porno.
Or
Porn critic,
Bashar
let us know about this.
Or some Bashar Quinn. She spent the first, 5 minutes being all like, are they best friends or are they fucking? And I was like, oh, they're sisters.
I need to... Well, you're the one that accused Frozen of being lesbian incest, so I don't want to hear it.
I've only seen the tiny Frozen thing before Cinderella, and it is like, they are incesty.
I will show you Frozen at some point.
They are full of zesty incest.
I'm not going to say that it'll change your life.
Incest.
It was a cute movie, I thought. It was cute.
Incest.
There's no incest going on in Arendelle.
But anyway, guys, if you haven't seen Ginger Snaps, go get it. It's really, really cheap.
It's on Netflix. Well, Netflix UK anyway.
Yeah, the first one at least is on Netflix. It's really cheap. It's 15 years old, so just fucking get a copy. It's really good.
And the only difference, time-wise, is that nobody has smartphones.
Yeah, it's not really dated. You know, a couple of style things, you know, with clothing and stuff, and the fact there's no phones or heavy internet use. Everything else, you could remake this thing shot for shot, and you would not notice.
It reminded me of, like, that one time in that one episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer where What's-His-Face is using the computer, and Willow's like, just Google it. And he's like, what? I don't go online to look at guys. What are you talking about? I don't look at people's bodies. And she's like, no, it's a search engine. And then she explains what a search engine is. And I was watching this with a roommate of mine. This was like 5 or 6 years ago. Like, that's when no one knew what Google was. I used Alta Vista.
But it's so amazing that, you know, this was made in 2000. And
remember when Yahoo was a search engine? So I know, right?
But a movie for the same age audience, not the same genre, but between those 2 years, 15-year age difference, if you watch this in 2000, Weird Science, The Breakfast Club, that was made in the mid-80s. Just think how much the style has changed.
That's a good point.
We are becoming stagnant. Teenagers are becoming stagnant.
Yeah.
You all need to, like, start dressing like frogs or some shit, because you're just basically doing what we did.
Yeah, find a way to spice up yourselves. Become otherkin, all of you.
You've not done something different. It's like, when was the last time you saw a new, like a crazed news person about who was horrified by something in pop music? Not the behavior of a pop star, but something in pop music that pushed the ethical boundaries of like, morality.
What about Miley Cyrus twerking? That was a few years ago now. Don't give me a face.
That was just a fucking dance.
Yeah, but it's still a pop culture thing, because we're like, what is twerking? And then, like, everyone, even like CNN had to do an article about
that horrified everyone. Compare that to the Frankie Goes to Hollywood's first video for Relax, the big budget one, which featured the guys pissing on each other in a gay fetish club.
Can't hear you. 80s music.
And then They were like, that's banned, so then they made the one with the fucking lasers. For no money.
Can't hear you, 80s music.
My point is, it's been a long time since something genuinely new and genuinely shocking has come out of young popular culture.
Do you realize what you said? Like, back in my day, things were shocking! They were shocking! You little bastard!
No, what I'm saying, I'm not saying they're
Here's
shocking.
my soup.
No, what I'm saying is, you guys need to do something shocking to
My
shock
brother
the
and
older
sister-in-law are sleeping,
generation.
like, in the next room.
You gotta shock us.
So, like,
Otherwise, you're basically a shadow of us, and that's not cool.
become
gotta
other kin.
Continue
You know?
upwards, dude. Get more extreme.
Embrace cannibalism.
I mean,
Ouch.
the last thing I can think of that happened, this wasn't even big in popular culture, but it was definitely remarked on when it happened, was the Rock Bitch
You have,
video.
like, 3 minutes of battery power left.
Let's be very quick. The Rock Bitch music video, which was them, where they basically Rock Bitch.
I don't know what that
They're a
is.
band from England, but they did a music video where they hired a bunch of prostitutes and they had sex with them, and that was the video.
Did they pay the prostitutes?
Yes.
What?
It was all filmed. Just a big orgy was filmed.
I mean, as long as everybody got paid.
And that was controversial. And it's like I haven't.
Yes, but this is the country that wants wants the government to mandate porn passes. Google it. It happened like last week. Cameron said it.
But
yeah. So we watched Ginger Snaps. There was no cookies. But now I get to watch Mr. Science Theater, so that's a cookie for me. So Misty, the patron, I hope that we fulfilled all of your Ginger Snap related fantasies.
And Misty, if for some reason you should drop your patronage and then redo it, after like a month or so, I don't know, you will be eligible to request another film. Not saying anything.
Stop it.
But there's a Ginger Snaps back.
Quickly, hot lesbian action. All right.